I didn't realize this. It's one of those things that's just like somebody tells you and you go, oh my God, yeah, that's right. Like what else? What other sense would that make? And sure enough, our friend Tom Moore, who's going to join us a little bit later in the show, pointed this out, and we'll get into this during our interview. Sixers haven't swept a 7-game playoff series. 7-game playoff series since the 1985 Eastern Conference semifinals when they handed the Bucks a 4-0 sweep during Charles Barkley's rookie season. What? Oh my God. What? Okay. Let me take that in, digest it, let it bounce around a little bit. That's pathetic. I don't know what that is compared to like most other NBA teams. And one of the things Tom gets into in our conversation is when you look at this particular squad, the Sixers as a franchise, they make the playoffs a lot. Especially more recently, they have had long stretches of making the playoffs, consecutive seasons, and all that stuff. But they're just not big sweep. They're just not a big sweep franchise, I guess. I don't know how that compares to the rest of the NBA, but I know that a team that is supposed to be as competitive as they've supposed to have been over the years with guys like Charles Barkley, going even earlier in the 80s and late 70s, guys like Dr. J and Moses Malone, Allen Iverson, of course, and now what we have with the 76ers. Even the Andre Iguodala 76ers made the playoffs a bunch. So for me, I was just shocked to hear that. But here we are. They have not swept a 7-game playoff series since Charles Barkley's rookie year. I think they complete the sweep. Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Got out of that party, by the way, that 2-year-old party. I don't have to go to that. Win for me. But because I will be home watching the game, obviously. But 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, I think they complete the sweep. We'll see what happens with Scotty Barnes, but regardless. The Raptors threw everything at the Sixers. And I feel like when you really unload on a team and you throw everything, including the kitchen sink and all the cliches that surround it, and that team never takes the lead in regulation, but ties it at the end of regulation to then force overtime, comes back from 17 points down, as we all know, loses one of their stars in James Harden, and they still win that game. I'll go back to it, as I said yesterday. It's the old Kobe Bryant line. It's the, I don't care how big your heart is, I'll cut your heart out. And that seems to be what the Sixers did. That's what I think the Sixers did by winning Game 3 in the style and fashion in which they did. Oh, Toronto was so hyped, baby. Bleep Embiid, bleep Embiid. We got into this a little bit yesterday. They were really into that game. Toronto was really into that game. Nick Nurse was really into that game. Pascal Siakam was into that game when he could be, when Tobias Harris wasn't D'ing him up as hard as he was yesterday or 2 days ago. They gave everything they had in that game. If you give everything you have and you lose in that fashion in front of your hometown crowd, I don't care how much your back's up against the wall in a Game 4. Oh, Game 4, it's elimination. Win or go home. They're even more motivated. Hey, look, if there's a higher gear for the Toronto Raptors to get to after what we saw throughout the first half of Game 3, then I will be amazed. I will absolutely be amazed. But I think after the Sixers came back the way they did, after they got Joel Embiid struggling in the first half, and then that amazing play that he made in overtime, really the amazing play he had throughout the entire second half of that game, if you're Toronto and you even go up 10 points early in this game, you're going to be thinking it's just a matter of time before there goes a push. I think the Sixers took their heart out and stomped on it after Game 3. So I think they wrap it up in Game 4. They possibly get a week off after that, and then